Tournament going on here in Ottawa, and so they took place here in the building. But we are underway here with Niagara dressed in the white, forest green and blue, picked up by Niagara in the red for the Blackjacks. Javon Blair, or Juggy Blair, as he's now referred to, with an up and under. As Kyle was tied up, they swing it around to Blair with 7 on the clock with a ball fake, an ankle pass to Khalil Lamont. In they go to the corner, and a 3-ball is up and good by Nathan Kyle.
That was really nice defense until the better offense at the end. You saw a lot of doubling, shifting, but what a shot from Kyle in the corner.
Coleman against Blair. See the type of offense the Blackjacks are going to run. A lot of ball movement early in a set and a turnover just like that by Moore. Blair lets it fire. Top side 3. Hit the back iron. Saved by Kyle. Nice play. 7 on the clock. Hill, who took only 5 shots the other night, but he fills it up on a top side 3.
And when the Niagara River Lions are hitting threes, that's a tough sign for opponents. They're only shooting 30% on average from the season. They get to go from long range. That changes their offense.
Coleman, the swing out. Adele, and they go to the elbow. Shakur Daniel, no. Daniel played in the G League for San Diego, member of the Clippers organization, with Khalil Ahmad. And he is on fire to start the CEBL season. Just an all-around solid player from Anaheim, California. Here's a left wing 3 that's flat. Nope. Rebound controlled by the Blackjacks. Tell me about the offense, Amy, and what the Blackjacks are trying to run. Is Adele with a curl? No. Offensive putback, yes, by Moore.
A lot of space. They've got a lot of really dynamic guards, especially with Matt Coleman. But then when you look at Dang, when you look at guys, even like Isaiah Moore, they need space to operate.
Blair in front of his bench. Plenty of time for Niagara to run a play as they trap Blair. Opening up the left corner 3 by Kyle, though, and cleared by the Blackjacks. Daniel, and they go to Coleman with a wraparound. Lets it fly. 17-footer on the elbow, up and good.
And Matt Coleman's going to push pace every time, but you don't pick him up. He's going to look to let that fly.
Yeah, you talk about a pace. Ekior steps in to a 12-footer in the paint. Good.
And that was the first shot inside of the arc for the Niagara River Lions. Touched the paint a little bit, right? That was a nice look from Ekior.
Yeah, Niagara shooting 29% from three-point range. The Blackjacks at 34%. Here's a looping pass accepted underneath by Moore, and we got to push in a foul on Niagara. And today's Eastern Conference game presented by Lotto Max. With 14 on the clock and a baseline inbounds play. Early first quarter action on TSN. Adele accepted by Moore. Isaiah Moore playing only his 3rd game, and he suffered a concussion game early, and so he's been out for 3 weeks.
And that was a tough blow early for Ottawa. When you look at the rebounding, right, and the toughness on the glass, it's something that Isaiah Moore, they really lean on him for. And there you go. Med Hill gets called for a foul, wrapping Dangadell up, coming off the screen. They go right back to that look.
Yep. And with a runner right to left in the lane, no. Rebound, and here come the River Lions. Javon Blair always looking to create or shoot that 3-block, and we've got a reach-in foul on the Blackjacks. That's going to go on Shakur Daniel. Daniel at 6'6". Played high school ball in the state of Arkansas. From Ajax. Kyle turns the corner on a pretty reverse, up and good. You know, I've always been a fan of Nathan Kyle. He's so versatile, Amy. Here's a runner high off the window. Now they're going to call the foul on the floor.
And Matt Coleman said, Chuck, I know how much you like Kyle, but let me draw a foul on him in the open court. Because to your point, when you want to slow down guys that can do this, we're going to see Kyle right now. Look at the little ball fake. I mean, unfortunately, the defense miscommunicated, jumped up top. Nice little reverse pivot and an easy finish for Kyle. But listen, guys like that, tough at the glass, his size, he knows how to carve out his own pass in the league. Sometimes in transition when they're running against you, Matt Coleman did a great thing. He just drew a foul, drew his body in there.
Yes. Gatluck James checking in, 6'5" at Windsor. And he has been so terrific for the River Lions. defensively, he just gets after it. And a pass rolled to the near corner, and James missed on a 3-ball. James pressures Adele in backcourt. It's 10-4 Niagara here with 6:20 remaining in the opening quarter on TSN. They trap Adele and the ball knocked away. He retains, however, to Daniel in the post to Moore, up too strong. Rebound loose, and we've got a reach-in foul on the play.
How about just attacking the offensive glass? Both Moore, but Shakur Daniel, who was the biggest surprise in Ottawa's camp. Doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but he earned a lot of respect. It started on the defensive end. That's where he really got the coach's attention with his hustle, effort, and tenacity on the defensive end. But then you just see stuff like that, right? Often when you attack the glass with or without the ball in your hands, good things happen.
Yes. Blackjacks at the line. Daniel comes up empty as Ottawa shooting 77% from the line at the 6-minute mark first quarter. 10-5 Niagara. Khalil Ahmad, they are going right after him on a hard blitz on a double. Wide open. Hill 4-3, and he rattles it home. Hill now with 5 of the ball game. And it's good to see him get in the flow early, Amy. Adele, cross court, wide open. Daniels for 3. No, popped out. Rebound off the hands of apparently the Blackjacks. It's going to be Niagara. The Blackjacks were saying it went off Ahmad.
This is one of the brilliant elements to Khalil Ahmad's game, to your point, Chuck, is that he also averages 5 assists per game. He's not a selfish player. And so you mentioned Ottawa throwing doubles, blitzing, trying to get the ball out of Khalil's hands. No problem, right? He's letting other guys take and make shots early. It'll come to him.
Dribble drive, Blair on a runner from the left angle, no. We had A.J. Davis checking in, finally healthy after playing only 4 games a season ago. Had a lot of issues with that shoulder, and the ball rolls out of bounds on an inbounds. And we've got subs coming in as well. Spalding is the official ball of the CEBL. Speaking of subs, Niagara losing a key player today from coming off the bench.
Yeah, Elijah Lafili, and he's been a beast on the glass for the River Lions. And so, listen, A.J. Davis, you got to get ready to rebound and fill some void there.
Davis with a handoff to Blair. Under 5 minutes to go first quarter. Blair with the step back. No. Long rebound. Tracked down by Hill. And they go to Davis. Davis on a post up. On a curl. And they go to Blair. Wide open 3. No. Rebound. Zane Waterman checking in for the first time this season. He was playing ball in Lithuania. Topside 3 off the mark. Rebound Niagara. In fact, Waterman told me, Amy, before the game, he has played in over 50 games already. Blair with the sidestep, topside 3, got it.
And the tap on the head, listen, when you take enough, you start finding rhythm, so he has to keep shooting those shots when they're open and present.
Yes. Adele with an up and under, nice dish inside, and the soft layup is good. Pretty move on the play. 16-7 Niagara. In fact, just talking with A.J. Davis, he said last year his body was just not right. And it was not only the shoulder, it went to the hip and everywhere. Waterman driving. Waterman got tied up. Nice block, loose ball. River Lions control. On the left baseline, Blair bumped and fouled.
The glass, and they convinced him to come try something new.
So on the inbounds, Gatluck James coming off the screen. Kimball McKenzie. McKenzie with his second game coming off as a reserve. Topside 3-ball up and good. A.J. Davis. I'm a huge Kimball McKenzie fan. Just a heady player, gets after it on both ends of the floor. Solid basketball IQ. Coached in the offseason, Amy.
Yeah, the Niagara College women's basketball team.
Terrell Tate, an offensive machine. Waterman, no. Rebounded by Niagara. The Blackjacks are shooting 26% here in the first quarter and trail 19-7. Offensive rebound, Davis, nice dish. Gatlick James puts it up and in as he ripped that ball away from Coleman on the right block.
He's been one of my surprise stories in the league. Really young. I mean, when you talk about utility, he just gets it done around the rim. He's relentless. I love his game.
Adele with an up and under, and a little bank shot is up and good. Got it past Curry, who's in the ball game now for the River Lions. We're going to have wholesale changes. Check it up in a moment. And Khalil Mack just went to the rack.
Yeah, that's what he does.
That's what he does.
But when you look at the stat sheet, the River Lions have taken 18 shots. Chuck, 12 of them have been from long range. And they're hitting from long range. So if you're Ottawa, you've got to slow this team down. Threes are worth more than two, right? So Niagara's come out really hot, and it's caused some problems for Ottawa early. When Ottawa can't get stops, they also can't get out and run. So they're slowed right down at 9 points.
We got a foul off the ball. Rudy Williams checking in now for the Blackjacks, 6'2", at the age of 26. Played a couple of ball games with Edmonton in the 2023 season. So we got Curry, McKenzie, Kayo, Davis, and Ahmad for Niagara.
Yeah, and Keys, and this is for both teams. I think both teams really have to lock into certain categories. Number one, the rebounding. Especially, so Niagara averages 13 offensive rebounds a game. So Ottawa's got to come out tough. Now, getting back Isaiah Moore and the acquisition of Zane Waterman certainly helps them on the glass. The effective efficiency, we mentioned both teams really struggling to shoot in their last game, both of them losing to Edmonton. And so finding some strike zones. Right now, Niagara's winning that battle. Of course, the new faces, Zane Waterman, Javon Blair, high impact guys, high impact winning guys. Who can they get going quickly?
So after Dangadell knocks down a couple of free throws, 23-11, Niagara. McKenzie, 4-3, and a kind roll of the rip, and it gets down on the left side. Williams creating. And they go to Terrell Tate. Again, they are throwing doubles at him every time he gets a touch. Daniel to Tate, lets it fly, up, no. Long rebound, and Niagara on the run with Curry. Engineering the attack to Davis. Wheels inside. A.J. Davis sent to the floor to foul, and he will get two. The activity of A.J. Davis has definitely given this Niagara Ball Club a lift.
And this comes off of a miss, right? And so rebound, but then running. It's almost a secondary transition, but what you saw was no white jerseys cutting weak side. They let A.J. Davis operate in transition with tons of room. And to your point, Chuck, at his size, his athleticism, his length, he can get to the rim. Connor Vraken checking in. So we talk about three-point shooting and how hot Niagara's come out, get ready. Connor Vraken checking in, he's a three-point shooter. And so if you're Ottawa, you've got to start identifying in transition, in half court. You've got to be present on catches, long range catches especially, because the River Lions are hot.
Vraken, by the way, number 2 in the CEBL, knocking down threes. Sean East, who's having a spectacular season for Edmonton. Vraken shooting 50% from three-point range. Williams with a jump pass up top, stepping into a three. It is up and good by Moore.
And sometimes that's all it takes, Chuck. One shot to open things up a little bit. But how about Williams touching the paint, collapsing the defense? That's great movement in transition as well.
And they go to Kyle. Kyle picked up by Williams. Again, deep in the paint, turnaround jumper up and good. That's way too easy.
But that's what happens when you hit long range early. You stop digging down. The paint opens up.
30-14 River Lions. First quarter action. And we got a hand check and a foul. It's going to go on the River Lions.
Well, you said it. I mean, Niagara has been so adamant about being present when Tate catches the ball, and sometimes you got to live with those fouls because you're letting the offense know you're there.
Cal Tire, the proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. You can shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. Terrell Tate, and about his game, Amy, what do you like about him?
I like his quick trigger, and that's why Niagara has been so intentionally in his space, because he can get going, he can get things hot, heated up. We call it ignitable. He's an ignitable guy.
KJ Davis on a post up. Let's see what he does here on isolation coverage. Turn around, no. Rebound, and here come the Blackjacks. Williams calls out a play. Let's see if Waterman, he's going to back off, and he's going to go with 10 seconds on the clock to expire the first quarter. Williams doing a lot of dribbling. Waterman, and they go running baseline right, and a left quarter pass to Tate. Air ball off the fingertips of Waterman, and that both teams coming off losses. In fact, Niagara just could not buy a shot the other night on ring night, Amy, as they are the champions, defending champs of the CEBL. Talked to Khalil Amada about that. He said, you know, he doesn't believe in the hangovers, so to speak, as much as every team has them on the schedule and circling it. An air ball on the left baseline by Jacques Torche, and we've got, with 2 on the clock, this will be an inbounds.
I think because Niagara returned so many guys, though, I do think there's something to be said now.
They changed the call, and so it'll be Niagara ball. Go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, if you're Victor Razzo, maybe that's part of that conversation. They did not play well on Friday night, which was unfortunate after their ring ceremony, but it's over. It's done. Move on. We got another one to get.
Ekior shakes, bakes, curls, baby hook, left hand up and good. Again, he is a player, and Amy, every time you see him, he does something you say to yourself, you know what? He deserves those minutes.
It's 2 for 2 from the field, right? It just takes great shots, and they're in the paint.
And Jacques Tejore, he's got an up and under, too strong. Rebound Waterman with the left hand. Nice play, Zane Waterman. He's going to really help this ball club.
That's why he's here right there. At his size, they need that physical, tough guy. Isaiah Moore is a long, lengthy guy. They need the banger inside, and that's what Zane Waterman can do.
McKenzie out of control, no. And it went out of bounds off Niagara. And we got Adele checking in. And Jacques Tejore gets a quick hook. And we got Blair re-entering the ball game. So let's see. Amy, you got McKenzie, Kyle, Ekior, Blair, and Curry for Niagara. You got Waterman along with Williams, Moore, Tate, and Adele. Rudy Williams. Williams tied up by McKenzie on the left baseline. Adele's going to hoist up a 3. No. Shot one earlier in the first quarter with 8:18 to go in the half. Again, they're looking for Kyle. Nice jump pass inside. Ekior got wrapped up and fouled by Waterman.
The Ekior does an excellent job of just hanging off ball, hanging out off ball. Didn't take that cut. Kind of let the drive happen, and he gets rewarded because the help recovers over. And it's a tough, hard foul from Zane Waterman, but it's not a terrible foul because nobody in position to contest a layup there.
Get 15% cash back on Ottawa Blackjacks ticket purchases at CEBL.ca. Neo, when using your Neo credit card, sign up now and receive a $25 bonus. Thank you. Of course, Amy, as we know, with the ACL, but he's come back strong.
They're certainly going to rely on him quite a bit because just watching him out here early in his minutes, we talked about the offense, really solid and not selfish. He's a great inside target, but then I also have been watching him on the defensive glass. His effort, his physicality, he's got to box out. He's not the biggest guy, so he's got to be very careful about how he positions himself around the rim.
Terrell Tate, and they go to Adele. 10 on the clock, pressured by Curry. Adele with a spin. Adele looks inside, Moore with the finish. That was all dang Adele right there. They smothered him defensively, and he found the open man. But right now, Amy, Ottawa's got to make some stops. McKenzie driving, and he stepped out of bounds on the left sideline.
You're right. I mean, they've got to get stops so they can get out and run. I think they've got one of the better transition target players in the league. And this guy right here, Adele, at his size and his length, he can collapse and draw defense. We've seen it early. He's made a couple really nice passes because he's getting the defense to overcommit.
Coleman with a big splash on the left side, and that's exactly what they are looking for from three-point range. It's only their second made three in 9 attempts, and chipping away at this lead. 34-21 Niagara, and a three ball right on cue. Eddie Ekior just knocks it down. How about the three balls are going big time for the River Lions? What do you attribute that to?
They're moving the ball well, but the confidence, you come out early, it's shot making's contagious.
Moore with the two-handed dunk.
And Ottawa's got to be pretty, I'd say, content, because they're pushing back and they're doing it through toughness, right? They're just playing smart basketball.
Inside feed, and Kyle is fouled.
Something that they're obviously looking to do here today, guys.
Thanks, Nikki. And Chuck, I will say, interesting enough, I'd say that's a pretty honest conversation with Nikki and Coach Razzo, because even last year, the Niagara River Lions did not lose at home. Right now, when you look at their 3 losses on the season, 2 of them have been at home. And so I think there's probably a little of that proud of the season, great to get the rings, time to move on and go for another championship. Oh, what a lob inside for Moore and a tough finish. There you go, and just like that, I mean, Ottawa's got to come up with some stops, but they're finding more continuity on the offensive end.
Javon Blair with his second three ball. Coleman, and they go to Tate. Tate holds and looks. Now they run a mid-post play for Adele. Comes up shooting on Hill, and a 15-footer is good.
He's got to take advantage of that size advantage in that matchup. Med Hill is such a strong player, but dang, Adele, he's got some length and height on him. Nice turnaround mid-range jumper.
A little bit over dribbling on the part of Nathan Kyle. That results in a turnover. 40-27 River Lions. Again, Ottawa tried to end a 3-game losing streak. Moore drags that dribble. Nice backdoor cut under Adele. Draws the crowd, allowing Tate to take a...
Don't try to play superhero basketball, right? And so they've done a better job. Niagara's also just missed some shots. It's allowed Ottawa to get through some of their sets on the offensive end and hit some ones themselves.
River Lions shooting 51% and 50% from three-point range. Under 5 minutes to go here in the half. Blair with a step back, sidestep to the right, from the right wing, no. Nope, with the offensive rebound by Catholic James. And here on the run is Dang Adele. Cross court, Justin Jackson, rainbow three, up and good.
And there you go, your stop to score for Ottawa. That's what's working. Niagara's missed a couple times at the rim. Ottawa's been able to convert on the other end.
Jackson, the veteran, and here's Hill, top side three, hit back, rev it out. Once again, on a rally. Here's Coleman with the dish to Adele, to Moore. Wow, you talk a little razzle-dazzle there. That was some nifty interior passing.
And everything's on the run for the Blackjacks right now. They're playing with pace. It's an unselfish brand of basketball, and all of a sudden the crowd's right back into it. Look at running the lanes wide. Look at the little pass inside, the extra one around the body. You just saw a little bit of everything if you're here in the house.
That was a wraparound dish. The CEBL Plus is the official OTT platform of the CEBL. You can catch live games, highlights, game archives, and on-demand content for absolutely free. You can head to plus.cebl.ca to register now and pull up.
I'm not surprised that Ottawa's pushed back, Chuck. When you look at the history of these two teams, they have come down to some super intense nail biters. And so I knew early on, listen, Niagara looked great, Ottawa did not. But with 3 quarters remaining after that first, you kind of thought the Blackjacks were going to have something to say, and they have certainly responded here in the second quarter.
Catholic James having a conversation with this officiating crew. 40-35, Niagara's lead shaved to 5. Khalil Ahmad with a pretty move with a spin to the rim.
And took on 4 defenders, by the way.
He's a little bit gimpy, getting back on defense, and then the Blackjacks threw it away. He took a hard foul to the rim on that offensive play. Appears to be okay, though. Kimball McKenzie, who's averaging 17 on the season, to Catholic James. Yeah, McKenzie open on the wing. Let's see what Ahmad creates. Double pump, draws a foul. Up, no. He will go to the line shooting 2. Maybe he takes 9 free throw attempts per game. 9.
Well, look what he can do in terms of manipulating the defense. We talk about it at the top of the show today with his body, his ability to get downhill, but then he's such a long-range threat as well. I'm talking about his basketball skill. I'm talking about the things we can watch and measure. But then when you talk about the things that you can't, the intangibles, this young man, he doesn't want those moments. He needs them. Like, he is a clutch player. He knows his status in the league. And so when Ottawa pushes back, they get it to 5. The next 2 possessions, where does the ball end up? In Khalil Ahmad's hand. That is not a coincidence. It is by design.
He takes 9 threes per game, 9 free throw attempts per game, 18 field goals per game. He leads the CEBL in this his 5th game of the year. 26 points, 7 boards, 4 assists. Just a spectacular talent. As you see, A.J. Davis re-entering the ball game now. He certainly gave Victor Razzo's ball club a huge lift coming off the bench in the first quarter. Coleman works on Blair, lob to the rim, and that's what Moore is all about.
And that's what they miss when he's not available. Sets the screen, hits the dive. He only needs a couple of inches for his guard to lob it up and put it in the perfect position for the finish.
Yes. You see the importance of Moore in this lineup, Amy, and what he brings Ottawa. They sorely missed him on that West Coast trip. And then we have Khalil Ahmad in backcourt with a foul.
But Isaiah Moore, we're talking about his offense. Defensively, he stepped out to hedge a ball screen, and he forced Ahmad the other way out of the screen. So his length really disruptive on both ends. Here it is again because it's so pretty. Quick hit, dive, down. It's just great chemistry between these two. When you look at it, they really haven't had many reps together again because Isaiah Moore plays the first 2 games, and he's been out in concussion protocol. And so he's just returning. But if you're Ottawa, you're pretty encouraged by that type of stuff out there.
Niagara once led by 18 points. It's a 7-point lead for the River Lions at the 3-minute mark. Coming off the screen, Adele drops it underneath, and Moore is fouled.
You look at the execution of the offense, Chuck. It starts again with a quick screen, getting Isaiah Moore to the rim, but Deng Adele on the catch. It's a catch and go with pace, not hesitating, not waiting to make a read for himself. With that quick step, it opened up a quick little lane underneath for Isaiah Moore. So you're seeing this Ottawa team play good, solid basketball. 5 guys on a string, works on offense and defense.
Isaiah Moore, Amy Audebert, now with 15 first-half points. 44-38 River Lions.
But when you look at his game, you credit his teammates too, Chuck, because he's not taking things off the bench himself, right? He's playing off ball to receive the ball. His teammates are doing an excellent job putting him in positions to find success.
I like that body English on that second free throw by Moore. He almost willed that ball in after it hung on the lip of the iron. 2:35 to go, 10 on the clock. Ball goes out of bounds with 9 on the clock. Kyle re-entering the ball game for Ekior. Now, what are your concerns right now for the River Lions here? After trying to hold off this furious rally by Ottawa.
Well, I think defensively they've just got to be a little bit more sharp in terms of in the fast break transition looks, because Ottawa's got some length and athleticism where they're kind of getting those first steps on them.
McKenzie in rhythm trades a foul line 15-footer.
And that helps because now you can get back and set up defensively.
Jackson, Tate. Jackson with 15 on the clock to send out Williams on a ball fake. Finding Tate, open three, no. On a reset now, Jackson to Williams, can't complete. Who else? Isaiah Moore.
His finishes too, right? I mean, it's just, he's almost floating in a 180 in the air. Doesn't touch rim, but doesn't also hit the backboard either. What a finish.
McKenzie on the left angle, no, but retrieves. Blair open three, bam! I'll tell you, that is his comfort zone, Amy. I talked to Juggy or Javon Blair prior to the game, and we were talking about his top side three. That is his sweet spot on the floor. Williams out of control, no. Offensive rebound, Moore. He is doing it all. Puts it up, no. Back to the foul line for two. This is the Isaiah Moore show here, folks, on his home court, returning for the first time in 3 weeks after suffering a concussion.
It's just, it's shoulders up. It's a relentless mindset for Isaiah Moore right now, and he's the biggest guy on the court. And so Niagara, their bigs, the guys that are tasked with defending him around the rim, have got to make sure their bodies are in position. But you got to push out too, because he's long. He can get it over top of you.
Russell Athletic, the official sideline apparel partner of the CEBL. Get your official merch now. CEBL.ca/shop. River Lions ball, the defending CEBL champs. Blair open right corner three, grazed the rim and out. Isaiah Moore with a rebound. Amy, I'm just going to take the rest of the afternoon off, and I'm going to let him do it all. He's doing offense, defense. Why not join you on the broadcast? Tate, Williams, foul line left, steps back, way off the mark, put back up and good. Justin Jackson.
Well, he wants some of that too, Chuck. That time Isaiah Moore is hanging out at the three. Jackson says, oh, that's an open lane. I better go get that one.
This second quarter, what a turnaround for the Blackjacks. Kyle, the pitch out. Curry lines up. Way off the mark, not even close, and it goes out of bounds.
When you have the ball in your hands, and Ottawa, they're going to get the ball better than the River Lions here in the second quarter.
Niagara flashing a little full court press as the Blackjacks bring it. Here's Adele driving on Blair. They'll look inside. Moore, no. He's upset with himself, frustrated. He cannot put it down. Rebounded by Niagara. We got 25 seconds left here in the first half of play in a very, very competitive second quarter. Kimball McKenzie with 7 on the clock, 13 on the game clock. Here's Blair driving, hang time, no. Tipped in the air, gathered in by Jackson, and then he lost it, and Ekior turns, shoots, no. Blair to the cup, and a blocked shot with 5/10 of a second on the inbounds. Baseline right, 5/10 on the clock. Kyle up, Ribby got it! Onions, baby onions! How about that? We got Isaiah Moore now with 20, not 21 points. And Khalil Ahmad, who came in averaging 27 a game, was held to 6, Amy, in the first half.
The River Lions still showed great balance, and that's encouraging for them.
Here's an open three ball. That's off the mark by Jackson, who is starting the second half, Amy. Ahmad off a high screen from Ekior, and the ball stripped away. It goes out of bounds, and it went off Khalil Ahmad.
Two bodies, and I mean physical up top on the perimeter, legal, but certainly trying to fluster and get the ball out of Khalil's hands.
Again, with the strategy defensively, Amy, on the part of Ottawa, they are really running a blitz every time Ahmad touches the ball. Coleman driving on Blair with a pull-up, foul line, 15-footer, no. Rebound, Niagara. I also like to see him how he'll get going.
Yeah, he's kind of an X factor for the River Lions, and bringing back Javon Blair, Khalil Ahmad, right? He's got to find a spot, and let's not forget, Ahmed Hill is a new face here for the River Lions. He's joining this championship squad.
So Ahmad draws the foul, took a couple of free throws in the first half. Ahmad with 6.3 rebounds and 1 assist in the first half of play. Niagara at 5-3, lost at home. That ring ceremony that Amy and Nikki were talking about, they got blown out by Edmonton by 18 points. And, you know, ironically, you talked about Edmonton. The last game Ottawa played was on Tuesday. They lost to Edmonton by 19.
I think Edmonton's really starting to feel that pressure of the West. Remember, one team gets to come out. Scotty Lindsay has been something special. 32-11 against the River Lions on Friday night.
You know, the West is stacked. I'm going to tell you, here's a lob to the rim again. And Moore lost his balance, taken away by Blair. Blair's got wing players, and they've got the Hill. One bounce, lets it fly. Left side three, no. Offensive rebound, Kyle. Underneath in a pass intended for, and it's broken up by Ottawa, out of bounds. Eddie Ichlor had the ball stripped out of his hands. I'll tell you one play that I really like out of timeout plays is what Niagara runs. They go to Blair in the paint, and Blair with a ball fake comes up shooting and missing. Dangadell, see what he can do in the second half as well. He got off to a nice start, driving on Ekior, and he got chopped and fouled, and he'll go to the line.
This is where Dangadell, his game is so special, because when you throw a bigger guy on him, he'll blow by you from the perimeter. When you put smaller, he gets into the mid-range, he gets into the paint. Three-level scorer, and so Dangadell, Ottawa's at its best when he's option number one, right? And he's kind of orchestrating the game on the run and on the fly.
Adele with 6 points, 5 boards in the first half. Adele is 5th in the league in rebounding at 6 per game. From South Sudan, of course, you look at the growth of that country in basketball, led by Luol Deng, a former NBA All-Star. Blair off a side screen from Ekior, and they go to Khalil Ahmad. 10 on the shot clock, creating, dancing, gives it up near corner. Hill sealed off by Daniel. They're going to Blair, 2 on the clock. Top side 3, short. Offensive rebound, Hill, foul line right. Turnaround jumper, nope. Rebound Coleman. For the shooting, they have gone ice cold, Amy. Jackson lines up. Far corner 3, nope. Ahmad in the lane to the rim, and the finish. Boy, I'll tell you what, Ottawa thought that he traveled.
He did certainly cover some ground. I think he may have gotten one, but I like the intention to get into the paint. Niagara settled for some outside jumpers. Ahmad's going to get you something inside.
We got a blocking foul on Ahmad right in front of the Niagara bench. Take us through this play, Amy.
Yeah, here it is right here. You see the craft. Oh, 1-2 gathering in. And gotta let your game do the talking sometimes, right?
Coleman with a pull-up off the dribble, no. 55-45 Niagara, up by 10. They got Moore shadowing Ahmad. Ekior banging away with Daniel from behind, taken away by Coleman. Coleman on the left angle, and they go to Dang Adele, slicing inside with the right hand. Pretty play, Dang Adele.
I love his first step and how quick he goes. He doesn't get into triple threat and kind of wait for the defense. He goes where he wants when he can move quickly like that.
And we're going to have an offensive foul. Khalil Ahmad picking up 2 quick fouls here in the third quarter. Amy, that's his 4th. So now Victor Razzo's got to make a decision. One would think that Kimball McKenzie is going to come into the ball game.
Chuck, you're a soothsayer. Here
exactly
we go. Yeah, you see Kimball check up. And the thing with the Khalil Ahmad is, though, he's going to go, he's going to get some time on the bench, but he's going to come back with a different type of, I think, intensity, right? He doesn't like those calls. A lot of game left.
A lot of game left with 6.5 to play. So one would think they got to really save him for the fourth quarter. We got a tie ball here. So the possession going to Ottawa. Dang Adele, one thing about his game, Amy, he does not waste dribbles. You know, every possession with the ball in his hands, you know, he either makes a quick decision or he gives it up.
And you'd love a lot of young players to watch that in him, right? A lot of tendency to over dribble, not him. He's pretty solid with that decision making. There it is.
Yep, coming off the screen. But that was a good shot.
It's a great shot.
I have no problem with that.
You have to go over top of Kimball McKenzie. He's got the size advantage.
Hill rejected and denied. Here's Jackson. He threw it away. Kayo down the floor with Hill, puts it up and in. So after getting his shot blocked, Hill with an uncontested layup. 57-47. River Lions maintaining a double-digit lead. Daniel up top. Adele at the foul line. Left quarter. Jackson open 3. Popped out. Hill kept it in play. Ekior. Niagara splitting the floor with Blair. And they run a post up now. Kyle. Single coverage against Adele. Shading over is Coleman. Here's Kyle in the lane. 4 on the clock. At the right side 3. Hill fills it up.
That's such a big shot because Ottawa looked like they had Niagara on their heels a little bit in terms of just matched up defensively, challenging shots, but the kick out with an expiring clock, and Hill hits the tough one. And here's a miss.
Jackson with a rebound. Over the timeline, Coleman. 4:45 to go here in the third quarter. Adele on a post up. Moore, 3-ball, got it. You know, I honestly think that, you know, Isaiah Moore, I think he's got the notion now, when he gets the rock, he has to do something, whether it's shoot or get the ball inside, because, I mean, for them to win this game, here's Hill open top side 3, no. For them to win this game, Isaiah Moore is going to have to be as he played in the second quarter. And Coleman is bumped and pushed out of bounds here. 4
rebounds. Both those guys, I said it earlier, they can change a game immediately, and so we'll see if Zane especially can kind of carve out some rebounds and finish some buckets inside.
Niagara shooting 42%, 41% from the foul line. They're 8 of 10, rather, from the foul line, shooting 41% from 3. Ottawa, Amy, they are 5 of 18, shooting 27% from 3. McKenzie on the drive, knife it inside, no. Loose ball picked up by Moore. Off and running is Dang Adele, driving on Kyle, setting up Williams. In rhythm and a 3, book it.
Back-to-back threes for the Blackjacks. Here we go, and keep your eyes on Zane Waterman here. He hit the 3, he got bodied on the rebound. He's frustrated. This is where he's got to be at his best, play a physical, legal brand of basketball right here.
Waterman in his first game. He is 1 of 5. Hill creating, stepping back, tough shot, air ball, loose ball picked up by Gatlick James, rejected by Waterman. Then on a reverse, Gatlick James puts it in. It's something out of nothing there, Amy. And then Dang Adele had the ball poked loose as he runs it down in backcourt. Good defensive job by Kimball McKenzie. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Dang Adele. Adele, and a cut to the rim intended for Waterman, and it goes out of bounds. Again, this is just Waterman trying to get used to his teammates. Freakin coming in. 62-56, Niagara. McKenzie. Kyle passed up a topside look to drive, and he threw it away. But James took it away from Tate. Here's McKenzie. 8 on the clock. Freakin for 3. No. And Waterman is fouled. And it's going to go on Gatwick James.
Yeah, the last couple possessions up and down the court, you're seeing a bit more, I'd say, physicality than we have seen, as Zane Waterman is fired up right now. There's been a little game within the game between those two players in particular. Gatwick James and Zane Waterman are battling inside, and the officials are trying to get a handle on it. You see crew chief Jason Steele right there communicating with the players and the coaches, which that's what he's got to do, right? We've seen some intensity. We've seen teams get fired at as of late in this league because guys care. You want to see the competitiveness, but I've noticed a little extracurricular in the last couple possessions on both sides.
Well, what a first game for Zane Waterman, huh? Welcome back to the CEBL.
And just to reiterate, Zane Waterman has played his entire CEBL career with the Hamilton Honey Badgers, now, of course, the Brampton Honey Badgers. He leads that franchise in points, rebounds, and games played. This was a big acquisition for the Ottawa Blackjacks to convince a guy, a pro basketball player, big, strong. We see him hit threes, but then also battle inside. They needed to fill this hole and gap, and they certainly feel they have with Zane Waterman.
63-57, 2:21 to play. Kyle leaves. A.J. Davis comes in for Victor Razzo's ball club. A.J. Davis did a nice job of the first half for the River Lions. Played 9 minutes, 5 points, couple of rebounds, 1 assist on reverse. Gatwick James takes the tumble and hits the floor, and he is fouled and shoots 2. And I think you're right on target, Amy Audebert. This is a situation where there's a lot of physicality going on right now between the two teams. You can win a 2025 championship weekend experience in Winnipeg courtesy of Neo. Enter now by purchasing CEBL tickets with your Neo credit card on cebl.ca/Neo. Sign up now and get a $25 bonus.
Gatwick James, Chuck, I mean, his story, so from Windsor, he played at St. FX. He's young, he's a rookie in this league. He is fearless. He battles with the vets. Sometimes he's undersized in there. He's not scared. I mean, I think he's kind of been an X factor for Niagara because he does a lot of little things off ball.
Yep. Played for Calgary a season ago. There's a pull-up Tate, circle left, 17-footer no. Who else but Gatwick James? You know, I love what he has brought Niagara this early season. He just gets after it. He has a high motor, plays tough, is physical. Blair steps back on Jackson, 3-ball no. Zane Waterman with the outlet pass to Williams. Waterman, he wants it. He feels it in the 3. Rimming, got it. A fine roll to the rim. That's Zane Waterman right there, folks. Very confident with his 3-point shooting. Great pickup by the Blackjacks. 64-60. Breaking and trying to post up A.J. Davis, and to go to Gatwick James in the lane on Waterman with a step back, turnaround jumper, no, and we're going to have a loose ball foul. I think they're going to get Williams on Davis.
I'm not sure I like that call. Williams has got to get underneath, right? You've got to get underneath when you're undersized. I thought he did a nice job, but the official thought different, and that happens often. Hey.
Okay. All right, 19 pounds. McKenzie and Gatwick James, and he went for the ball, and it's knocked away out of bounds by Ottawa. Waterman saying it went off the hip of James, but with 13 on the clock, McKenzie will put it in play. Then you go to Blair. Blair has struggled shooting tonight, but you know he's very capable of hitting a three. Blair, a lot of contact from Tate, no foul. Over the midcourt line. Here's Williams driving on McKenzie. Broken up by Braken, but recovered, and then Waterman lost it. 4-on-2, Gatwick James to the rim, and that's going to be a charge.
That was close, but Terrell Tate got 2 feet down. And I think because he planted so quickly. Yeah, I mean, his feet were narrow. That's a tough one, right? That's where those block charges are so quick. They're tough calls.
So Dangadell returns. Remember, Khalil Ahmad left this game in the third quarter with his 4th foul with 6:30 to play. No doubt we're going to see him in the 4th, early in the 4th. Could start in the 4th. Here's Williams. 20 on the clock, 32 seconds left. Adele comes up shooting. Tough shot. Offensive rebound, Waterman. Wide open Tate. 3-ball. Got it. That was all Zane Waterman right there, and Tate with the finish on a huge 3-ball. 64-63. Niagara by 1. And we're down to the final 12 seconds here in the third quarter. What do you run here, Amy? McKenzie. Stolen it away. From 35 feet, no. And we go in 8 rebounds, Amy.
And a lot of that coming in that third quarter, Chuck.
McKenzie. So Victor Razzo still leaving Khalil Ahmad on the bench with 4 fouls. McKenzie steps in left side, open 3, no. And believe it or not, folks, once down by 17, the Blackjacks can take the lead right here. Williams. Couple of crossover moves with 13 on the clock. They go to Waterman. 2 high-powered scores on the floor with Waterman and as Dang Adele steps in. That's off the mark. We're going to have a loose ball foul as Moore hit the deck.
And A.J. Davis had great inside position, but he gave him the little chicken wing out. And as a rebounder, when you have position, all your strengths in your lower body, right? That's where you got to clear out with your hips. You got to drop down and drive that way, because right on the baseline, it's too easy for the official not to call that, right? You see extension, a little shove in the forearm.
Davis picks up the foul. Here's a post-up. Dang Adele flips it up. No. Tipped by Moore. No. Cleared by Niagara. Blair, cross court. McKenzie slicing to the rack with a left-hand layup. Got it. Count it. And a foul. Kimball McKenzie with a hoop to harm and 1.
Rudy Williams tried to run through on that and tried to get out of the way, but Kimball actually did a nice job of, taking some contact, but then just to finish with momentum. A tough one.
Eddie Ekiar returns. Davis going to the bench with McKenzie at the line, trying to finish off an old-fashioned 3-point play. Williams receives a play from his head coach, Dave DeVero. You got Williams against McKenzie in the right corner. Adele, Tate, back to Dang Adele. Double on the ball, and an open jumper, and the 3 is up and good. Rudy Williams. 67-66. This is CEBL action. We are live in Ottawa on TSN. Nathan Kyle to Blair. Blair pass up an open look. Tough. Double on the ball. Gives it up to McKenzie. Lines up a 3. No. Rebound Tate. Once again, the Blackjacks with an opportunity to get the lead with Waterman. Waterman wants to post up the smaller Blair. Waterman flips it and scores. Too easy.
That's just smart basketball. You kind of blow the offense off when you see something like that. Dangadell with his 9th assist.
We're going to get a foul on Rudy Williams.
Yeah, I think Kimball McKenzie tried to run through and Rudy wrapped him up top, and it's that freedom of movement. But Zane Waterman, I love that ownership. Give me the ball and get out of the way.
Yep.
That's what his team needs him to do. And that's tough when you're the new face, by the way.
Yes. And the two players really for Ottawa that have really stepped up with Moore and Waterman. Moore, especially in the second quarter, is a step back topside three. Khalil Ahmad, no, and it comes out once again to the Blackjacks with the Williams driving on Ahmad with 4 fouls rather, and saved in play by Ekiyor. So you've got Hill, Ahmad, Ekiyor, Blair on the floor, and Kyle. Hill, Blair, clean look, topside three, no. Goes out of bounds. It's going to be Niagara ball. So Blair in the ball game is 3 of 15. He is 3 of 11 from three-point range. Jackson comes in for Waterman.
But sometimes, and especially with a guy like Javon Blair, ignitable, you got to take the shot. Sometimes you got to take them before you, well, you always take them before you make them, but sometimes it's more important to take them because he's going to find rhythm. He's a great shooter.
Kyle against Jackson to the cup, and the banker is good.
Oh, what a finish. Oh, man.
69-68 Niagara. So Blair defending Williams, Rudy Williams, and they go to Moore. I think this is a set now where Moore really needs to get a touch with 6 on the clock. Williams got tied up, forced it up, and the banker got it. Counted the foul. Oh, my goodness. He just launched almost a desperation shot with the clock expiring, Amy.
You know what we call that? The hard way. Rudy Williams rejects the ball screen. He doesn't take that help from Isaiah Moore on the top side. Comes down. Med Hill, big, strong body, relatively square, but how about the contact and finish through size?
Williams with 5 off the bench. 71-69 Ottawa. Let's see if Khalil Ahmad can get going here, Amy. Somehow, some way, if Niagara expects to win this game, they've got to go to Ahmad, and he needs to complete. Ahmad in the lane to the rim, no, short. In transition, Dangadell in the far corner, open three, got it! Rudy Williams.
And Rudy Williams are high-energy players for Ottawa, and so I will say, yeah, Isaiah Moore got this team going and really back into it, but now other guys are really starting to step up.
Yes. Eddie Ekiyor on a post-up, on Moore, deep in the lane, using the left hand, no, and Isaiah Moore with a double-double, pulls it down. 74-69 Ottawa. Slipping and falling to the floor, Williams, and he threw it away. Khalil Ahmad, stop and go, dribble drive to the rim and the finish. Excellent move. That hesitation dribble throws the defender.
And you're never speeding him up either. He marches to the beat of his own drum. Dangadell did a nice job of trying to contest, staying vertical, but no fouling.
McKenzie all over Williams. Williams, the pitch out. Moore steps in. 3 ball, no. And we got a 50-50 ball, and we got a foul on the floor against Davis. Or are they going to go to McKenzie? Yeah, McKenzie.
Seen a couple rebounding fouls going against the River Lions. That doesn't surprise me because of the way Ottawa has come out after that first quarter and really intentionally hit the glass.
Ottawa with a 1-possession lead with 5:18 left here in the fourth. Moore underneath, and the layup is good. Justin Jackson out of Toronto and the University of Maryland, and a second-round pick back in the day by Orlando. Khalil to the rim, And we've got a foul. That's going to be a two-shot foul for Khalil Ahmad.
Justin Jackson picks up his first and the team's third foul. Khalil Ahmad is and checking in for Niagara, 13, Nathan Coyote.
Get 15% cash back on Niagara River Lions ticket purchases at CEBL.ca/NEO. When using your NEO credit card, sign up now and receive a $25 bonus. 76-71. Ahmad at the line, up and good. Ahmad in the ball game has played 18 minutes with a 10.5 rebound game. Blair in, Ahmad leaves.
Well, he's got 5 personal fouls. And so Victor Radzo's probably going to have to play a little bit of that game too. Defensive reps. You know, two-time league clutch player of the year. You want him available in close target times.
Yes. So you got Adele camped out in the left corner. You got Tate posting up. And you got Williams chased by McKenzie. Blows past Davis to the rim. No. And off the hands of Moore, collected by Hill. On the run. Finds and threw it away behind McKenzie, out of bounds.
That's frustrating for Niagara because it's almost a nonverbal miscommunication, if you will. Kimball McKenzie needed to stay a little bit wider, or Medhill needed not to pass it, right? It just missed timing and not a whole lot of defense there. Those ones really frustrate you in these tight games.
Williams, and they go to Adele. The return handoff to Williams. Williams goes far corner. Waterman for 3. Zane Waterman, big time shot. 79-73 Ottawa, 2-possession lead. And we near target time. Here's Blair driving, puts the brakes on, turns, shoots, no. Offensive rebound, nice job by Davis to the rack, no. Tip by Davis, no. Over the midcourt line, Dangadell finds Tate in the right corner. Tate pressured by Hill, and they go underneath to Waterman, got it! Zane Waterman show, welcome back!
But I like the decision not to foul for Niagara because that would initiate a target time. And now they have a shooting opportunity going into target time. That is such a high-level read from Kimball McKenzie. And it's a 3-point shot.
Yeah. The Blackjacks foul. That is something I am sure the Blackjacks, that's the last thing they wanted to do.
It was a huge conversion underneath from Waterman. Again, you're under the 4-minute mark, so making the bucket was big, but you didn't want to give anything to Niagara, let alone a foul and a 3-point shot.
Correct. McKenzie, a superior free throw shooter. No hesitation, just gets the rock and puts it in. PSN, the target time score is 90. Ottawa with an 81-76 lead because of Zane Waterman. You got to go to him, right?
There's your touch there. This is such a big possession.
Driving, probing, and missing. Had a great look. Hit everything but finish. Here's Blair. Sealed off on the baseline, setting up Khalil Ahmad. Got it.
Bucket, a huge 3 from the reigning finals MVP, from the league's 2-time clutch player of the year. Now Niagara's got all the confidence here.
Yes. And any time Khalil Ahmad's on the floor, you know you're very capable of pulling out a win. Moore, and they're going to Adele with 7 on the clock. Dang Adele. On a zone down, applied by Niagara. Here's Rudy Williams, out of control. He traveled, no question. A turnover on the part of the Blackjacks.
Well, the defense forced him to switch his pivot foot because they were flustering. So now you're seeing a bit more poise to open things up from the River Lions on both ends of the court.
Key matchup here with Dangadell against Khalil Ahmad. Now they got Moore playing him. They go left side. Kyle with a handoff to McKenzie. McKenzie with 7 on the clock. Blair, pull-up jumper, top side 3, no. Williams in his pass deflected away out of bounds by the River Lions. Blair very upset, frustrated with his shooting this afternoon, Amy.
But that's how you get it back. I mean, he broke that pass up right there. So great hustle on the defensive end. He knows he's got to take good open shots.
Yes.
You certainly want to work that ball around. There's no time, right? I mean, just shot clock only. So
Hill got the ball poked from behind by McKenzie. Then we're going to have a tie ball. Blackjacks with possession with 10 on the clock. This is target time right here on TSN. First team to 90. Ottawa clinging to a 2-point lead, 81-79. Dangadell. Here's Tate. Tate against Ahmad. And his jumper run here. Do you still go with Ahmad creating?
yeah, you put the ball in his hands and you trust him to make decisions. At some point, you maybe set a screen for him.
Kyle with a handoff now to Khalil Ahmad with 13 on the clock. Ahmad driving Ahmad to the rack. Went up strong, hits the floor hard. And his teammates racing to make sure he's okay. He went up for a dunk.
And because he rejected the screen, Ottawa almost looked confused. He didn't use the screen, and the defense was jumping to guard a screen. Watch here, watch. It looks like he's going to use it, rip and go. There's no help, and so Tate's a little bit flying out of position there. And listen, they're reviewing for an upgrade, but Chuck, I think it's just a hard defensive foul.
Yeah.
Like we know this, and I appreciate everyone trying to get it right, but this is where I think as myself, but also probably fans, you go, it's a tough foul. I know Khalil Ahmad's frustrated, but looking at it, Tate's going for the ball. It's just a hard foul. Here to reject the screen, there's no help's late. There's a lack of communication, and then unfortunately you're flying in. But I think he's going for the ball. He did get him in the head, and
Yep.
This is where that conversation now comes into it.
His left arm, Amy, right here. Tate's left arm was extended, hoping to block that shot. It's just a common foul.
Yeah, and I agree with it.
Yes.
I get it. He got him in the head, but at the end of the day, he's going for the ball.
Yep.
You're talking to the wrong person here if you want to talk about physicality in the paint.
But we're going to have free throws for Khalil Ahmad. He's still disagreeing with that call, but he's going to the line. And a 5-point Ottawa lead. Target time is 90. Ekior at the scorer's table. Khalil Ahmad, 6 of 6. And the old announcer's jinx. (84-80). Ekior in, Ahmad leaves. A little defense for offense. Wanting to make sure to secure rebounds. Zane Waterman has been on fire. So look for him to get a touch. You got Tate and Moore, very gifted offensive players as Dangadell is. Waterman against Kyle, about 27 feet away. Tate underneath to Isaiah Moore. Cross court. 3-ball up, no. Rebound, Niagara. Hill. Turnaround jumper, 13-footer up and good. Nice mid-range J. 84-82. To the rim and a finish. Nice play, Rudy Williams. How about the play of Rudy Williams here in the second half?
And that little hesitation, explosion from the perimeter. There's no defense on the backside. He's got the ball in his hands, so you can see serving. Where's the help as an attacker? There's no help. That's a quick step to the rim.
It's almost imperative now, Amy, that Niagara gets something in this possession.
Absolutely.
Whether it's going to be a 3 or a 2 or a free throw, they got to get some points on the board here. Ahmad against Moore to the rim and a scoop and a score.
You're taking a much bigger, longer shot blocker right to the rim.
Fearless.
Yeah.
Williams waves off a high screen. They're going to Dang Adele. 7 on the clock, left corner. Waterman, no. Rebound, Kyle. McKenzie, 12 on the clock. Kyle in traffic. A reverse up and good. We're going to have a timeout taken by Ottawa. You got Ekiyor and you got Blair.
And when this lineup defensively, they can switch a lot.
Tied at 86. Target time at 90. Adele, plenty of time for Ottawa to get into a set. Adele to the rim. Gives it up to Tate. Lines up a three. Terrell Tate. Along with Waterman, Moore, Tate, Williams. Let's see what develops here from Ottawa. Niagara ball. 89-86. Blackjacks. Ahmad for three. Rimming, no. 50-50 ball. McKenzie sneaks in. Blair, topside three. Bam! Javon Blair. We are tied at 89. Game on the line. We're going to let you take advantage of it, folks. Our audience on TSN. 10 on the clock. Williams. Adele. 5 on the clock. Dang Adele. Spins. Turnaround jumper for the win. Way off the mark. Rebound Moore. Puts it up. And we've got a whistle. And what do we have here? A 24 violation. Yes.
Short-term memory. The best shooters have it.
Here we go, folks. Tied at 89. River Lions score. They win the ball game. Here's a backdoor cut. Ahmad went up, hits the floor, and a foul. Oh my. Get out the salami and cheese, mama. Onions, baby onions. This ball game is over. And the Niagara River Lions rally and defeat the Ottawa Blackjacks.